Our school found devices under the girls' locker room vents, and we all got pulled in. Our high school finally got money to redo the girls' locker room floors, and everyone was excited because the old tiles were cracked, stained, and always felt damp. On the first day of demolition, a worker dropped his hammer, and the edge cracked a floor vent cover. He bent down, looked inside, and froze. He reached in and pulled out a tiny black device with a wire. His face drained, and he called his boss over. Minutes later, Principal Garcia rushed in, took one look, and ordered everyone out. She locked the locker room door, and by lunch, rumors were everywhere. Sixth period, the intercom crackled. All female students report to the auditorium immediately. All male students remain in your classrooms. My teacher didn't explain. She just nodded for us to go. In the hall, girls were texting until a security guard told us to stop. My best friend Zoe grabbed my sleeve and whispered, "Something's really bad." My stomach tightened as we walked past classrooms full of boys staring through the door windows. At the auditorium doors, female police officers were waiting and taking phones out of our hands. One officer held a bin and dropped each phone in. One girl argued, and an officer calmly said we'd get them back later. Inside, more officers lined the walls, and people were crying before anything was even said. On stage stood Principal Garcia, a woman in a suit, and Detective Ramirez. The principal gripped the podium like she might fall. She said, "I have devastating news." The room went quiet. This morning, workers discovered hidden cameras beneath the floor vents in the girls' locker room. For a second, I didn't understand, and then it hit me. Girls yelled and demanded answers. Someone shouted, "How long?" My skin went cold because I'd changed in that room for years, rushing to pull on my clothes. Principal Garcia waited for the yelling to dip, then said, "Based on our investigation, the devices have been there for 7 years. 7 years. Detective Ramirez stepped forward and said they already knew who installed them. A screen lowered behind them. Security footage played from spring break 7 years ago, close to midnight. Mr. Davis, the head janitor, rolled up with his cart, looked around, unlocked the locker room, and went inside with a toolbox. The video ended, and the room made this shocked, ugly sound. Girls started whispering his name like saying it out loud might make it less real. Mr. Davis was the guy everyone liked. He remembered names, fixed stuck locks, and handed out candy on birthdays. And he had keys to every room. Detective Ramirez said, Mr. Davis connected the cameras to a recording device in a private maintenance closet. Then she added, "He was arrested about an hour ago." Someone shouted, "What did he do with the videos?" The detective said officers found hundreds of files organized by dates and student names. She said there were logs showing he uploaded them to private, password-protected sites. She said they also found messages proving he sold access to people who paid for it. The auditorium went dead silent. Then one person started sobbing, and it spread. Principal Garcia held a paper with trembling hands. "Investigators found a list of students who were specifically targeted," she said. "If your name is called, please go with an officer to the library. Counselors are waiting." Names were read, and girls broke down in their seats. I kept whispering in my head, "Not me." Then I heard, "Jessica Miller." My legs went numb. Right after that, "Zoe Patel." Zoe's fingers crushed my hand. Then more names kept going, and each time someone stood, their face went blank. An officer pointed to the aisle, and we stood up with a group of other girls and walked out without a word. In the library, counselors sat at tables with tissues ready and water bottles lined up. Detective Ramirez spoke in a lower voice and said they found paid requests from online buyers for videos of specific girls and a spreadsheet of names and gym schedules. She said some buyers asked for certain people and paid extra for it. She didn't read the notes out loud, but she said they were detailed. Someone asked, "How did he pick who to target?" The detective paused, then said, "Based on his notes, he picked girls who were friendly to him, the ones who trusted him most." My throat closed up. I thought about all the times I smiled at Mr. Davis, thanked him for fixing my locker, and brought him cookies at Christmas. My hands started shaking, and I broke down right there at the table. Now people are saying I trusted him too much. Was I really wrong?